This is Virgil Ortiz, and you're watching REED-BBS.
REED-BBS. BBS. Muratalla. Muratalla. And still, IBF lightweight champion of the world, Muratalla. They say you're not really a champion until you defend your title. Muratalla is really a champion. And you need a sense of urgency to take a title from a champion. Muratalla versus his number one contender, Andy Cruz, from this past Saturday. Real good tactical fight. The pattern was established from jump. Muratalla pressing, Andy Cruz moving, jabbing, dropping right hands over the top, countering right hands over the top of Muratalla's jab. Occasional stabs to the body, jabs and double right hands. That was pretty much Cruz's entire offense for the whole fight. Muratalla's pressure and presence, it was menacing though. Like he was always there within arm's reach. And he's sneaky, athletic enough, got a good set of wheels, so he was able to stay with Cruz as he moved laterally. And he's got underrated hand speed, Muratalla does, along with power in both fists. So he was a constant and present threat to Andy Cruz, which in addition to you moving all fight, it's wearing on you mentally as well, that mental fatigue. Muratalla did a lot of work to the body. He was also getting in right hands of his own, and he was landing some real nice, sneaky ass uppercuts. In addition to being favored to beat Muratalla, the thought was that Andy Cruz would jump out to an early lead. We knew that his cardio is shaky, is suspect, never been past 10 rounds before. So we knew that he would dip in that way. He would fatigue a bit as the fight wore on, but it was expected that he would jump out to an early lead. Cruz was never able to separate himself. At no point did Cruz really have a lead. And after 4 rounds, the DAZN scorecards had to fight even, and I couldn't disagree with them at all. Even fight. Cruz's cardio, it didn't fail him completely. Like he never looked dog tired or anything, but you could see noticeable signs. Those same right hands over the top that were crisp and sharp early in the fight, he was starting to slap with those same right hands as early as like the 3rd round. And by the end of the fight, those same right hands were merely arm punches, just arm punches with nothing on them. Meanwhile, Muratalla only seemed to get stronger and stronger as the fight progressed. And that same pressure that was there in the 1st round, it was there in the latter rounds. He never dipped at all in that way. Andy Cruz started strong, but not strong enough to create any separation, like we said. And then there was Muratalla the whole time right there with him, who was just as strong, if not stronger. And then he created a bit of separation down the stretch, particularly in the last couple rounds, which is what helped him to retain his title. All in all, DAZN scored it 115-113 for Muratalla. Of the official judges, one of them had it even, 114-114. Another judge had it 116-112. And then there was Tim Cheatham. Yes, that Tim Cheatham, who had a ridiculous scorecard of 118-110. Like, absurd. It was a close fight. A clear win for Muratalla in a close fight. It wasn't 118-110. No way in hell. All in all, a majority decision for Muratalla. The onus was on Andy Cruz to jump out to an early lead. I keep harping on it, but instead they went tit for tat. That's where the fight was lost for Cruz. I wanted to see a bit more urgency from Andy Cruz, particularly in those waning rounds. Maybe his body couldn't conjure that up. He couldn't muster it. I don't know. But he needed to do more than he did. And he seemed to be fighting like a guy who was hoping to win or expecting to win instead of doing everything he could to ensure he would win. Cruz has nothing to hang his head about or to be embarrassed about. He lost, but it wasn't like a meme or gift-worthy type of loss. No one's gonna clown him after this. Sometimes you just lose, and that's okay. First loss as a pro in just 7 pro fights, but with that Olympic gold medal winning pedigree, of course you have to be aggressive in the matchmaking with Andy Cruz. And with that, don't fall back too much. His next fight should be against a top 10 lightweight contender, or maybe he should consider moving down to 130, because Muratalla had a clear size advantage, strength advantage, and there wasn't much between these men athletically. Cruz at 130 would be a lot more effective, and those right hands that he was landing on Muratalla with no effect, they would presumably have more effect at 130 pounds. Looking at the landscape, if you're Cruz, Shakur, he's not a small lightweight. Floyd Schofield looks like a MikeTyson at lightweight. Abdullah Mason, he ain't little. Cruz, he's gonna be giving away size to all of those dudes. It might behoove him to consider moving down to 130. It might. Cruz is kind of on that ambitious Lomachenko type of trajectory. Title fights, six bouts out the gate, here you are, world title fight and shit. He's taking that path. But with that, don't hang around at 35 too long like Loma did. Every loss Loma had was at 135. Loma's a natural 130 pounder. Cruz should consider that, moving down to 130, bruh. But let's focus on the winner, Ray Muratalla. What a performance. We might not have been checking with him or checking on him coming into this fight, but we're for sure checking on him henceforth, forthwith, and indubitably. Ray Muratalla. Ray Muratalla. Hey man, liking what I'm seeing out of him. He's now 24-0, 17 KOs, and getting this mandatory defense, getting the #1 contender Andy Cruz out of the way, that frees up Ray Muratalla to pursue bigger fights, unification, or possibly fights at 140, where he's eventually going to wind up. There were whispers that Team Muratalla, along with trainer Robert Garcia, already had an exit strategy had he lost this fight to Cruz. That exit strategy, of course, being moving up to 140. I like what I see in Muratalla, though. He's got traces of the stereotypical aggressive, pressuring Mexican style, but my man is athletic with it. Got a good set of wheels, like I say. He can move in and out. He can move laterally, real quickly and gracefully, and he's got real good hand speed. He could be a boxer puncher and fight off the back foot if he wanted to, but the Mexican in him won't allow that. And he's got the left hook to the body. Duh. So imagine a Muratalla in with an aggressive, offensive-minded, leaky defense dude like Abdullah Mason. Imagine them unifying. I have a feeling the WBA is on the verge of emailing its lightweight title to Floyd Schofield. Imagine fast, twitchy Schofield in there with Ray Muratalla. For what it's worth, Muratalla said he wanted the Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson winner. Imagine Muratalla style in with either of those guys. We've heard the name Ray Muratalla. Now we got to deal with him. He's here now. He's announced his arrival officially. He's got a chill, quiet confidence to him, and he's going to be a tough out for anybody at 135 or 140. Subscribe, comment. Remember, sharing is caring. Love tap and or bitch slap that like button for your boy. And shout out to the homies at FightBeat.com. Can you step to this? REED-BBS, BBS. Blackbird Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Televisión, Fred Sanford of the Fistic Arts. When all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do.